To be able to make money from merch by Amazon or POD in general, you need to have designs in the first place to upload to these POD platforms. You might say, I'm not a designer. Trust me, I'm not a designer either, but I managed to learn the skills needed to create eye-catching designs that sell. And you can do too if you're willing to learn. In this lesson, I'll show you how you can learn how to design for merch by Amazon fast. The first tip is knowing what type of graphic design you want to learn. This is easy. You want to learn how to make designs that would go on apparel products, pop sockets and phone cases. These all require the same skill set as they are similar in nature. You need to know this in order to know which classes to take, which tutorials to watch on YouTube or blog articles to read, etc. Next, you need to decide on which tools to use for graphic design. There are some free options like GIMP for desktop or some free mobile design apps, but I personally use Adobe Creative Cloud, which gives me access to all Adobe products. And my most used graphic design software is hands down Illustrator, especially that it works with vectors instead of pixels, which I find very useful. And I use Photoshop from time to time, especially if I want to do some heavy distressing to a design. We also use Procreate for iPad to make illustrations. My wife does that type of work. It's more time consuming and complex. With that said, if I had to recommend one tool, I would definitely recommend Adobe Illustrator as an all-in-one design software. Next, start learning about design theory for the particular design genre you want to learn. Study the theory behind the art form to truly understand it. You need to know the rules for great design and how those rules came into existence. So many people make the mistake of jumping into a program like Illustrator or Photoshop without knowing the principles of why things work the way they do. Jumping in too quickly is a recipe for disaster. Take your time and really learn the theory and concepts of graphic design. Once you know the kind of graphic design you want to learn, for what purpose and with which design software, then you could simply go to YouTube and type, for example, Illustrator t-shirt design tutorial or Illustrator typography tutorial or Illustrator effects tutorial, etc. And the more you learn, the more you start discovering new terms and new ways to design. I would also recommend a fantastic learning website called Skillshare, and I used it myself to learn many skills including graphic design, videography, photography, etc. I'll leave you a link to get 2 months free down below, so check it out. They also have many courses on graphic design that you guys would find useful. The most important tip is to just practice. I personally started with zero experience, and within the first week I was able to get an idea about design theory and was able to make my first few designs on Illustrator, which some of them actually sold. And I was so happy to see my work pay off, which motivated me even further to learn more. And now I can make some more complex designs just because I gave myself the time to learn and nurture my skills in design. And I also enjoyed designing, to be fair, which made my learning experience even better. I want to warn you that it's not something you can learn very quickly. It really does take practice, and if you put in the work, you will see results fast. And you have to recognize that in the beginning, you will not be that great and you'll feel frustrated that you have this great idea that you want to turn into a design, but it just doesn't work. Just remember that it's not your fault that you don't have the skills yet to make this happen. Basically, your skills don't match the skill set that's required to produce the designs that you imagine in your head. But I guarantee you that if you keep practicing and learning, you'll get there eventually. The best way that I found helped me learn fast is that I would analyze designs on Amazon and reverse engineer how they were created in order to acquire the skills needed to create such designs. Then I would search on YouTube how to make such and such effect on Illustrator or Photoshop, and the more tutorials I watch, the more designs I analyze, and the more I practice, things naturally start to fall into place and the penny drops. And I go, okay, this is what this effect is called, or this is how you do this. And now you'll start getting creative, combining all the skills that you learn to make designs with your own style, etc. And like I said, the more designs you study how they were created, the more you design, the more you learn new design skills, and the more you practice, the better you get. So don't give up on yourself too early and keep grinding.